Hello everyone and welcome. I have a fun fall DIY for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you step by step how to make this beautiful large Hello Fall Scarecrow Wreath. When I found this beautiful sign at Dollar Tree, I knew I had to turn it into a beautiful wreath. Now I've done this technique in the past. I have a Halloween wreath that is done with the split wreath, and I also have a Valentine's Day wreath. I will link both of those tutorials at the end for you. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in and let me show you how to make this beautiful Hello Fall Scarecrow wreath. To get started on today's project, you're going to need one of the 14-inch wire wreath forms that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. And then I use a heavy-duty bolt cutter. If you have a really strong hands, you can use heavy-duty wire cutters. But we're going to be cutting this wreath form in half. Now these bolt cutters are by Cobalt. I believe I picked these up at Lowe's. They have several different sizes. This is kind of more the medium size. You don't need one quite this large. They do make some smaller and some even larger than this, but you can usually pick up a bolt cutter at any hardware store. Now the only thing you need to be concerned about when you are cutting your wreath form in half is that each piece needs to have one end that has the bar and one end that has loose wires. So as you can see, each piece has a bar on one end and then loose wires on the other. Now this is the sign that we're going to be using today. I think he's absolutely adorable and I love him. Now I've done this style before with a couple other wreaths and it turned out really nice, and I thought he was the perfect sign to do it. But if you can't find him, they did come out with two that are workable. This is the other one. This one also says Happy Fall, y'all. Oh, this one says Hello Fall. This one says Happy Fall, y'all. Really cute little bow tie. The only thing I would change if you're going to use this one instead of this one is I did choose an orange and white check to match his little bandana there. So I would just change it to a black and white check to match this little guy's bow tie. But for today we're going to be using this one. Turn it over to the back here. Now when you're laying your pieces, you want to turn them so that the arced part is facing forward. And you want one end, the end here with the bar, that needs to be at the top and at the bottom. You want the cut pieces to be in the center. And you need that to come in by about at least an inch so you have enough space there to attach it to the back of the board. And you don't really want to see that wire from the front, okay? So that's about perfect. Now the first thing I'm going to do is there are some here that are already touching the board. Those I'm going to hot glue right where they are. Just add a little bit of hot glue over the top. Now I have all the points that are touching the board hot glued down, and I added a little support with the other sign and a little notebook here so that it would set up correctly. Now there are 4 points here on the curve, 2 on each side, that I want to tie down as well, and I'm going to use a little bit of pipe cleaner here. So I want to feed it on either side of the wire there that's lifted. I'm going to hot glue this down. I'm also going to do one here on the other corner. Put a little hot glue down, add in your pipe cleaner. Put a little hot glue over the top and let that set up. You want to do this to both ends. Now before I tie these down, I want to make sure that glue is fully set up so I get it nice and secure. And then here on the two loose ends that were lifted up, I put a weight on so that they are flat against the board. And then I've put hot glue over them. A little dab first down, lay them in, add some weight, and then put some on top. Not only is this going to help it attach to the board, but it's also going to cover any sharp ends so that you don't have anything on the back that can scratch your door. Now before you move forward, you want to make sure that all of the glue is fully set up and secure. And I tightened down and trimmed my pipe cleaners, and then I pushed the ends down and hit them with just a little bit of hot glue. But as you can see, everything is down, it's nice and secure, and there is nothing on the back to scratch my door. This guy's all ready to go, as handsome as he is. Now this is the type of mesh that we're going to be using today. This is 10-inch by 10 yards poly mesh ribbon. It is weatherproof. I did pick this up from Hobby Lobby, and it regularly retails for $9.99, and I usually pick it up when it's 40 or 50% off. You will need 1.5 rolls to complete this wreath. You want to measure out your mesh to 15 inches and cut. I prefer to use a rotary cutter because I get a nice clean cut. If you don't have a rotary cutter, you can use a good sharp pair of scissors. You just want to make sure that you get a good clean cut so you don't have much fraying. Now with the method that we're going to be using today, when you use it with quality mesh, you get no fraying at all on your wreath. And today it's the folded ruffle. Now I designed this method back in May of 2020. I originally designed it to be used with Dollar Tree mesh because it frays so much, but it works very well with 10-inch mesh as well. So you take your piece that's cut at 15 inches, you fold the ends over themselves by about an inch so you form a tube. You want to press that down. You start at one end while you hold it down, scrunch up to the center, come up to the other end and scrunch. Then you need a pipe cleaner cut in half. You want to wrap that around the bottom. You want those pipe cleaners to be up on top because this is where all your cut ends are. You want that to be the bottom of your bundle. And then I grab it and I kind of look and make sure that my shape is the right size. Grab it and pull it down so I can get a nice tight grip, pinch and twist. Then when you open it up, it is so pretty. I think they look like butterflies. Very, very pretty. I will show you again. And that is what your bundle looks like. Now when you put this into your wreath, this folds up like butterfly wings, so it comes together like that. So you get a very textured but smooth surface, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm working on getting my bundles attached, and I've started in the top section here. Now the top section and this bottom section are not quite as wide as the center section. So you need about 6 bundles on the top and the bottom, and probably about 7 on the one in between. That's why you're going to need 2 rolls, because one will only give you 4 bundles per section. And then to attach these, you're going to be attaching them to the 2 bars in the center. You just take your pipe cleaners and feed them from the front to the back, wrap it around those 2 bars, pull nice and snug, and give a couple twists. And then to help keep my back looking nice and clean, slide over my bundle and I push those ends of my pipe cleaners forward. This keeps the back of the wreath looking clean, keeps the sharp ends away from the back, and then by the time you're done with the front, you're not even going to be able to see them. And then you just keep adding your bundles to the section until the section is full. Once you finish the top section, you move to the bottom and get that one nice and full as well. But see how pretty that looks, and I love the light and dark mixed together. I think that's absolutely beautiful for this wreath. And then here where the sign is, so that I can still see my bird, I've kind of tucked my bundle there, kind of spread it open, because I still want to be able to see my bird. Now you can be able to do that, and if it's not going to sit the way you want, hit it with a little dab of hot glue and make it sit there. Okay, so I'm going to get my base of my wreath here filled in, and then I'll be back and we can move forward. I have my base complete, and I think he looks absolutely adorable. Now the next thing that I do is I go through and I will clean up my mesh. If I have anything sticking out from the ends in the back, I just trim them off. Looks pretty good. And then here on the sides where it meets the board, I usually will push it back and kind of fold down that last little bundle. And then I take some hot glue and I just kind of run it right along the edge there. And I let my mesh glue to that because I don't want it to come too far onto the board and cover up my words or part of his face. And see, it holds it back nicely, and you can't tell when you look at it that it's glued. We're going to work on our ribbon bundles now. I have these two ribbons that I'm going to use on our wreath today. I absolutely love them. I think they are perfectly matched to go with the sign. These are both made by Really Good Ribbon. I will insert their item numbers here. Now I did purchase these from Amazon.com. You can find them in my Amazon shop, and the link is in the description box below. You're also going to need some raffia or some hula skirt. That will work as well. You want to cut 10 pieces of each ribbon at 11 inches. And you want to cut several pieces of the raffia at 11 inches. You'll use about 3 to 5 pieces of raffia per bundle. I have my ribbon and my raffia cut, and this is what our bundles are going to be looking like. I think that is so pretty. And I'm going to be dovetailing my ends, and I usually cut 2 ribbon at a time. I line them up, fold them in half, make sure they're nice and even. And I usually don't like to go too deep, maybe a 1/2 inch. And then cut from the fold to the wire edge. And that gives you a nice little dovetail. I'm going to do that to both ends here. I'm going to be using my bow dabber here to help me make my ribbon bundles. I'm going to start with a check as my background ribbon. Just kind of scrunch in the center. Place that in. Do the same with my cute little scarecrow ribbon here. And then I've cut my raffia into strips at 11 inches, so I'm just going to grab a couple pieces here, kind of find the center and put that in. Now when you get your raffia, at least when you get it from Dollar Tree, it comes wrapped up like this. So I just started at one end and measured it, cut it, measured it, and cut it. So that way you're cutting quite a bit at one time instead of trying to do one strand. Then you'll need a pipe cleaner cut in half. Pinch it in the center and lift out. Wrap from the front to the back. And then I always like to pull down so I can get a nice tight grip. Pinch and twist. And then I like to do a little bit of styling before I put it into my wreath. Just, I want to make sure that everything's going to lay that I want. So I kind of crisscross the ribbons and leave the raffia kind of in the center there. And then I just lift up and kind of curve out the ends. It's much easier to adjust your bundles before you put it in your wreath. So this way you'll know if it's going to lay the way that you want it to. Very cute. You need to make 10 bundles just like this. I'm in the process of adding the ribbon bundles, and I wanted to show you how I'm adding them. Now if you turn it over here on the back, you can see the 2 crossbars. Where the 2 crossbars are, I'm putting a ribbon bundle on the inner 2 bars. And then I'll be putting a ribbon bundle on the outer 2 bars in between those. I did decide to go back here on the top part at the very top and add an additional bundle. So this side has 6. After I get my 5 in on this side, I'll decide whether or not I want to add another one here at the top. But I want to wait till I get it in and see how it looks. I've also made just 2 bundles with raffia. And on the top here, I stuck one in here at the very bottom and one at the very top. I'm going to do the same on the bottom half. So you just use your pipe cleaners, feed it through the mesh until you can get to the wire frame in the back, and then just attach it to the wire frame. Once you have it tied down, make sure to tuck your pipe cleaners. I have all my bundles in, and I think it looks so adorable. Now there's one thing left I want to add, and they are a couple of corn here. I picked them up at Dollar Tree. They come 2 to a pack. They have several different colors. The ribbon actually has some little corn on it as well. And I'm just going to place one on either side, kind of like that. And to get these attached, you can either wire them on. I'm going to use a combination of hot glue and Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. Now I really like Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. It weatherizes your wreath. Anytime you're going to put a wreath outside, you want to make sure to use Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. It does take 24 to 48 hours to fully cure, but once it does, it is weather resistant. Nothing's going to fall off due to heat, cold, rain, wind. I love this stuff. So I am just going to attach this to the mesh. Just going to lift everything out of the way, find my position. Just make sure you get good contact with the deco mesh. Very, very cute. Look at the corn. Doesn't that look cute? I absolutely love it. And there you go. We are all done. I really do love my Hello Fall Scarecrow Wreath. I think he is absolutely adorable. Now I do have half a roll of mesh left over, so it did take 1.5 rolls of the 10" by 10 yards. And I also have still quite a bit of both of the ribbons left over, enough to do at least 1, maybe even 2 more wreaths. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. That was such a fun fall wreath to make. I absolutely am in love with all of the scarecrows this year. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and some love in the comments. This really does help support my channel. If you know anyone who would enjoy my content, please share it with them. Thanks again for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you. You have a great day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.